everyone, it's Nadia from YARNutopia. Today we're making the Harlequin leg warmers. These are so fabulous, making these leg warmers with the Entrelac or Entrelac stitch. I say Entrelac stitch. This is like an Afghan stitch, and we are making these diamond looking stitches to make these beautiful leg warmers. How much fun is this? I'm using only 2 different colors today, and I'll get into the supplies you need, and then I will talk about some frequently asked questions, and we'll get into making these fabulous babies right here. So the supplies you're going to need: I'm using Red Heart Super Saver yarn. This is a 10 ply size 4 worsted weight medium yarn, and you can see that here I'm using the color black, and then I'm also using the color Aran, which is an off-white color. So you can use as many colors as you want, but I'm using not much yarn in this project. For my main color, aka black, in this pattern, I use about 100 yards, and for the off-white Aran color, I use about 75 yards. So you're basically going to only need 175 yards of yarn, which is awesome. So you're not going to need that much. I just got 2 skeins of yarn and used one color of each, a little bit of each color. Anyway, then you are also going to need an H size crochet hook, which is 5 millimeters. I'm using this fancy hook today. This hook has a wooden handle and it is ergonomic, and look at how fancy that is. I got this at the Etsy shop, actually, called Would Be Fancy. I'll put the link in the description of this video so you can maybe get a similar hook like this. All the handles are different. They are hand carved, so they are a little different, but they have the same grooves and everything to be very comfortable when you crochet. So the hooks are fixed in there, so you can't really pull them out or anything, but this is an H hook, and they have different sized hooks on that Etsy shop, so you can check out that link to that shop and get your own hook. I am obsessed with these hooks, and I've been using a lot of these lately, and I really like them a lot. So check that out. Again, you're going to need an H size hook, which is 5 millimeters for this project. If you want to make these a little bigger or a little looser, you can use an I hook, which is 5.5 millimeters, and that's totally fine. You're also going to need a scissors and a yarn needle to cut your yarn and sew in your ends. Those tools will just come in handy, especially if we change color so often, and in the beginning and end of this video, because this project, because we have ends to sew in anyway when we cut the yarn. So those are all the supplies you're going to need. Now for the frequently asked questions, what about measuring? So let's measure this out for you right away. Each little diamond square is about 3 centimeters, which is an inch, so they're about an inch by inch little squares here. They're turned into diamonds when you wear them upright like this. They're diamonds. And mine turned out to be 12 inches around, okay? That is, see, 30 centimeters around the leg. So that's how wide my calf muscle is around my leg. Now you can make these bigger or smaller. This is in a multiple of 11 stitches. So you can chain 55 in the beginning, you can chain 66 or 77 and make these as wide as you need them to be. Also for length, you can obviously make these as long as you want, just repeating since it is a repeat pattern, but these did turn out to be 34 or 35 centimeters, which is about 13.5 inches. So again, though, you can make these as long as you want. I made 9 rows of the Entrelac stitch. You can make as many rows of that as you want, and then the cuff is made next, and that you can make as long as you want, and the bottom cuff is made last, and that you can make as long as you want as well. So it's a really simple pattern that is just a repeat pattern, and it's almost mindless once you get the hang of the Entrelac stitch. And if you've seen recently, I just posted some slippers, the Tutti Frutti slippers that also use Entrelac stitch, so you can get on the Entrelac wagon and start making your Entrelac stitch projects today. These will be great for, gift ideas or even for yourself. They're really sassy. So now, before we begin making these, I have to mention There are links in the description of this video if you're watching it on YouTube. If you're watching this on my website, YARNutopia.com, there's links all over the place. So there's a link to my website, like I said, YARNutopia.com. There's a link to my Facebook and my Instagram. Make sure you're following me on all social media, even on Snapchat. I'm YARNutopia on Snapchat, so you can see behind the scenes clips of what we do here at YARNutopia headquarters. Also, there is a link to all kinds of exciting things, the written pattern for this and all that, so check that out. There's a link to the shop to get this hook and all that good stuff. And oh, I have to mention the nail polish I have on my hands is the same one in the Tutti Frutti slippers, actually. If you want to get the same nail color as me, this is Ayla nail polish, and the color is Mr. Pookie's. How cute. So I got this in my Ipsy one time, my Ipsy bag, but you can find this probably online or at a drugstore or something, so you can get the same color as me. And I have to say a huge, huge, huge thank you to my dad, Fuad, as much for taking the time to make this video with us. He is our videographer, editor, and photographer for all of our videos at YARNutopia, so make sure you subscribe to our channel, and if you could support YARNutopia today, that would be greatly appreciated. There is an eye in the corner of your video here. If you hover over your video, or if you tap your video if you're on a tablet or something, there is an eye that shows up here. You can click that and support YARNutopia so we can keep bringing you these crochet tutorials. So now let's get started and make these Harlequin leg warmers. Are my hands red? Don't record this, I'm asking. Let's start out with a slip knot. So I'm going to start with my white-ish color, my Aran, and I'm going to put the short end over my long end and then fold this down and pull that through and pull tight. Okay, there's your slip knot. You can insert your hook into that loop and pull it a little bit tighter. There we go. And then we're going to start off by chaining a multiple of 11. I am going to chain 55. So yarn over and pull through 1, yarn over and pull through 2, 3, 4, 5. I won't make you watch me do all 55 chains, but that's how it's going to look. So I'm going to continue working these chains until I have 55 chains. You can do 55 or 66 or 77 and so on. Just something that will wrap around your leg. It is going to be longer than actually what we're going to be making, since the Entrelac design kind of is like a chevron style, so it's going to kind of cinch it. So this 55 chains is going to measure around a 12-inch calf. So if you need to, obviously make it bigger. Every 11 chains is going to make a whole nother diamond shape of the Entrelac design. So I'm just going to keep chaining, and then I'll meet you up until I have 55 chains. Alright, this is what your chain should look like, just something really long, and like I said though, it's going to kind of shrink when we do the Entrelac design, so I'm going to measure this chain real quick. So this is about 15.5, almost 16 inches long, but like I said, with the Entrelac design, it's going to shrink down to about 12 inches. So that in centimeters is about 40 centimeters, and that will shrink down to about 31 centimeters. So if you need to continue on making this a little bigger for your calf size, you can definitely do that. But going on to round 1, we are going to make the Entrelac design. So what I'm going to do first here is in the second chain from the hook, we're going to pull up a loop. So the loop on the hook doesn't count as a chain, so we're going to count 1 chain and 2 chain. 2 chains right here. So we're going to go into that chain. And what I usually like to do is turn my chain toward me, so you can see your chain like this. I'd like to turn it toward me, and you can see here these back ridges. Okay, I like to work in those back ridges. You can work wherever, whichever loop you want to work in, it does not matter. So we're going to go into the second chain, 1 and 2 right in here, go in, then yarn over and pull up a loop. Okay, just like that. So now we have 2 loops on the hook. We want to get a total of 7 loops on our hook. So there's 2 here, so go into the next chain and then pull up a loop. So yarn over and pull through. There's 3 loops on the hook. Go into the next chain, yarn over and pull through. There's 4 loops on the hook. Go into the next chain, yarn over and pull through. There's 5 loops. Next chain, pull up a loop. There is 6 loops on the hook. We need one more. So go into the next chain, yarn over and pull through. There's 7 loops on our hook. Now we are going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Then yarn over and pull through 2 more loops. 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 And then yarn over and pull through those last 2 loops. Okay, and that's the start of our first miniature diamond. So now what we're going to do is, you can see here these vertical lines, these vertical loop lines. We are going to work in each one of those and pick up a loop. So what we're going to do, you can see this first one actually has a loop coming off of it. It's already on the hook, so we're not going to really count, we're not going to go into that one there. We're going to go into the next one here. So there's already 1 loop on our hook. We want to get 7 loops on our hook. So we're going to go into this next vertical loop right here. We're going to go on the side of it, around it, kind of like a front post stitch, and then yarn over and pull that through, just like that. So now we have 2 loops on our hook. You can see the next vertical loop right here. We're going to go on the side of it, around it, just like that, and then yarn over and pull that through. Okay, so there's 3 loops on our hook. We're going to go to the next one right here, go into the side of it, around it, just like that, yarn over and pull through. There's 4 loops on the hook. Going to the next one, here's 5 loops. Now for the 6th loop here, we are going to go into the side of this one right here, but you can also see there is a line or a loop right here too. We are going to go on to that one too. So in the 6th loop on the hook, we're going through both of those loops right there, vertical loops just like that, yarn over and pull through both of those. So now we have 6 loops on the hook. We need 7. So there's a free chain right over here. We are going to go into that next chain on our foundation row, just like that. Then yarn over and pull through. So there are our 7 loops on our hook. Now we are going to yarn over and pull through 2, 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 and yarn over and pull through 2. Awesome. So you can see there was row 1 of the first diamond and row 2 of the first diamond. We need to get 5 rows in total for each diamond. So what we're going to do now is repeat that last part there. So we're going to go into this. You can see the first loop here. Sorry. Here's the first loop here. Here's our second loop. We're going to go into that vertical loop right here. Okay, yarn over and pull through a loop. Okay, just like that. So there's 2 loops going into this next vertical loop right here. Yarn over and pull through. There's 3 loops on our hook. Going through the next one here, yarn over, pull through. There's 4 loops on the hook. This is 5 loops. And then remember the 6th loop right here, we're going to go into this vertical line here and that loop back there. Just like that. And then yarn over and pull through. Okay, so now we have 6 loops, but we need 7. So we're going to go into the chain, the next free chain on our foundation row, right here. We're going to go in, just like that, yarn over and pull through. So now we have the 7 loops. Now we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 until there are no more 2 loops left. Just like this. Perfect. So that was row 3 of the first diamond. You can see row 1, 2, and 3. So like I said, we need 5. So again, repeat that last row going into the side of these vertical loops until we have 7 loops on our hook. And remember, loop 6 goes through this vertical loop and that loop back there. Yarn over, pull through. And the 7th loop is the next chain on our foundation row, right there. So then yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, 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 pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. So that was row 4. You can start to see the square shape is kind of, or I guess diamond shape, it's going to look like this, but we are making it sideways. So now, going on to the next step, we are doing our last row here for this little diamond. So we should have 7 loops. So there's 1, 2, 3, here's 4, 5, number 6 goes through this one and that right there. Okay, and then 7 is this foundation chain one right here. Okay, then yarn over and pull through 2 until the very end of this piece. Just like that. So now we have 5 rows of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? Now what we need to do is get over to this chain here to make our next diamond shape. So what we need to do is slip stitch across here. So like we've been going through the second loop right here first, so we're going to go through that. And you can see this loop back here, we are going to go through that as well. So going through this loop and that loop. Yarn over, pull through both of those loops and the loop on your hook. Okay, just like that. That's a slip stitch. We're going to slip stitch across here for a total of 6 slip stitches. So that was 1. Going next vertical loop right here and that back loop back there. Yarn over, pull through all of that and the loop on your hook. That's another slip stitch. So that's our second slip stitch. Going to the next vertical loop right here. And the back loop back here, yarn over and pull through, and pull through that loop on your hook. That's our third slip stitch. Here is our fourth slip stitch. Our fifth slip stitch is just like going through this back loop here and this, this vertical loop here and the back loop here, just like that. Yarn over, pull through and through. There's our fifth slip stitch. And then our sixth one is going to be into the chain that's free right here. So go into that next chain that's free on the foundation row, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. Now you can notice I slip stitched quite loosely because we are going to be working into the slip stitches in the next row when I change color to black. So make sure you don't pull those slip stitches too tight, okay? But there you have it, a nice little diamond is made. So now we have to make another one of these diamonds. So I'll show you how to make this next one and subsequently the rest of them. This is going to be our repeat. So now we are at this point. We slip stitched across here and we already have 1 loop on our hook. We need 7 loops total. So that was 1. Going on to the next chain right here, pick up a loop, yarn over, pull through. There's 2 loops on the hook. Next chain is 3 loops. Here's 4 loops. Next chain here is 5 loops. Next chain has our 6th loop right there, and our 7th loop is in this next chain, yarn over, pull through, just like that. So we have 7 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2 more, yarn over, pull through 2 again, yarn over, pull through 2 more, yarn over and pull through 2 more, and yarn over and pull through those last 2 loops. Okay, now we are going on to the next step of this next diamond here. We're going to go into the second vertical loop here. So this one is considered the first vertical loop. This next one right here is considered the second. So we're going to go on to the side of it, around it, like a front post stitch. Yarn over and pull through, pull up, there's 2 loops. Next vertical loop is our 3rd loop. Going through this next vertical loop, yarn over and pull through, there's 4 loops. Next vertical loop here, yarn over, pull through, there's 5 loops. And for our 6th loop, we're going to go through this vertical loop and this loop right here. You can see it looks like another vertical loop. It's actually in the back of that. That's our 6th loop, yarn over and pull through. So now we have 6 loops on our hook. We need 7, so go into the chain that's free right here. We're going to go into that chain, yarn over, pull through, and now we have 7 loops on the hook. So yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 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 and yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so that's our second row. We have 1 and 2. We need 5 rows in total here. So again, vertical loop here, yarn over, pull through. Next one, yarn over, pull through, next one, yarn over, pull through. I have 4 loops on the hook, next one is going to be 5. Remember, 6th loop right here, vertical loop and loop back here, yarn over, pull through, and then the next one will have our loop from the chain here, going into the next chain, yarn over and pull through, just like that. So now we have 7 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through 2 until there are no more loops, no more 2 loops to pull through, just 1 loop, just like that. So we have 1 loop on the hook now. That was row 3 of this diamond. Going on to row 4 of the diamond is just repeating what we just did for that last row there. I'm going to go a little bit faster now because it's a repeat. Okay. And yarn over and pull through 2 until there's only 1 loop left on your hook. Okay, just like that. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. I need to get 5. So going into this next, doing repeat of that last row there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's 6. And 7 is in this chain. Yarn over, pull through 2 until the end. Okay, so now we have our 5 rows here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we need to slip stitch across here to get to this next chain to make our next diamond. So what I'm going to do is slip stitch across, go into this vertical line here and this back loop here, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. And don't pull too tight, that slip stitch is what we were going to work into for the next row. So go into this next vertical line and this back loop here, yarn over, pull through, and through. Next one, this is our 3rd slip stitch. We need 6 in total, so that's 1, 2, 3, here's 4, and 5. And our 6th one is in this next chain right here. So going into the chain, yarn over, pull through, and through. And there is our second diamond. So this is what it looks like so far. It looks fabulous. So now we just need to repeat exactly what we did for this one all the way across. Since I chained 55, I will have 5 diamonds in total. So I'm going to make 3 more off camera, and then I'll meet you up. We'll attach the ends, and then we'll go on to row 2 of this leg warmer. Alright, just finishing my last little diamond here for this Entrelac stitch for row 1, and I'm slip stitching across here. Now, I noticed that there is only going to be 5 here, 5 slip stitches across the top here, because there's not another chain to slip stitch into. So you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So what we're going to do is take this piece, well, first I'm going to set this down. For our 6th one, we'll get to it in a second, but I'm going to set this down here. This is what your piece should look like so far. Okay, and I'm going to measure this so you can see that it will fit around a 12-inch calf. Okay, so you can see that it did shrink down quite a bit, and that is about 30 centimeters or 31 centimeters or so. So that is how big it's going to be. It's going to fit around my leg. And now we are going to bring this around. So we're going to flip this over without twisting it. So now we're looking at the back of it, and we're going to bring this one here to this side right here. So we've just made a big circle. Okay, just like this, without twisting anything. So now it's a big circle because that is going to, your leg is going to slip inside of there. So now we are going to go to the very first stitch. So you can see here there's 5 rows here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are going to go into this first one right here. Okay, so not this little chain right here. We're going to go into the first stitch right there, okay, on row 1 of this first diamond. And we are going to slip stitch in there very loosely for that 6th slip stitch on that last diamond. So yarn over, pull through, and through. Okay, just like that. Awesome! Now we're going to, regardless if you're changing color or not, we're going to fasten this off. So we need to chain 1, cut our yarn, and then pull that all the way through and pull it a little bit tighter, just like that. Okay, and then you can see here, this is what it should look like. Okay, so like I said, regardless if you're changing color or not, we are changing color because we ended, if you look at these two diamonds here, it looks like mountain peaks. Okay, these two are the peaks and this is the valley. We end in the valley, the lowest point here. So we want to start our next round at the top of a peak right here. Okay, so that's where we're going to start every round now when we do the Entrelac design. So we want to count here. You want to count 6 slip stitches here. So this one's right here. You can see that there are 5 up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, and then there's 6 across here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 until you get to the next diamond. So this is the next diamond right here. So on one diamond, it's a 5 by 6. Okay, so what we need to do is go into the first slip stitch at the peak of a diamond. So right here is where we want to be, and we are going to grab our next yarn. I am going to use black, so hopefully you can see my stitching here. We are going to hook on a new color, or you can use the same color or whatever. We're going to hook that on and pull that through. Okay, I didn't make any knots or anything. I just hooked it on my hook, just like that, and pulled it through. And that is going to count as our first loop on the hook. We want to get 7 loops on the hook, so we're going to go into the very next slip stitch right here, go in, yarn over, and pull through. Okay, so now we have 2 loops on the hook. Go into the next slip stitch right here, and then yarn over and pull through a loop. Just like that, there's 3 loops. Next slip stitch, yarn over, pull through. 1, 2, 3, 4 loops. Next slip stitch, go in, yarn over, and pull through. There's 5 loops. Go into the next slip stitch right here, and that's 6 loops. Now we want to go into, without twisting anything, go into row 1 of the next diamond for our 7th loop. So right in here, there's a loop right there. It looks like an actual stitch, like a crocheted stitch. We're going to go in there, yarn over, and pull through. So now we have 7 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 more loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So there's our first row of our first diamond on row 2. So now we are basically going to repeat what we did for the last row with these diamonds down here. We're going to go into this second vertical loop right here, go in, yarn over, and pull through. Okay, we want to get 7 loops on the hook, so that's 2 loops going into this next vertical loop right here, yarn over and pull through. That's 3 loops. This one is 4 loops. Here's 5. And then remember, our 6th loop is going to go through this vertical loop and this loop back here. Okay, and then yarn over and pull through both of those. So we have 6 loops on the hook. Now we want to go into row 2 of this next diamond. So we worked in row 1 right there. We're going to go into the next one up here. Yarn over and pull through that. Now we are going to yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. And that's row 2 of this diamond right here. So we're just going to repeat that again. So go through this this second vertical loop. You can see the first vertical loop is right here, which this loop on our hook comes out of that one right there. So we're going to go into the next free one right there. And we're going to go in and yarn over and pull through. Okay, so there's 2 loops on the hook. Going into the next one, yarn over and pull through. There's 3 loops on the hook. Here's 4 loops. Next one, it'll have 5 loops on the hook. And then our 6th loop on the hook is going to go through this vertical loop and this loop right here, yarn over and pull through just like that. So now we have 6 loops on the hook. Go into row 3 of this next diamond, so you can see row 1, row 2, and row 3. Go into the side of that, that's like a free stitch right there. Go in, yarn over and pull through, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and get all of these loops off of your hook, just like that. Awesome. So we have to do 2 more rows of this. So it's basically just like how we did row 1, you know, just going through these vertical loops, getting 7 on your hook. And our 6th one, always remember, 6th one goes through this loop and this back loop here, yarn over, pull through, and then the next free stitch on this next diamond right here, gotta connect everything, so there we go, and then yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, 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 pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We have one, you can see that free stitch right here is next. That's where we're going to go. So we're going to go through each of these vertical loops, yarn over, pull through, go into the next one, yarn over and pull through, next vertical loop, yarn over, pull through, next vertical loop, yarn over, pull through, next vertical loop and loop back here, yarn over and pull through, and then go into the free stitch right here. And that's going to be our 5th row for this one. Now to get to the next little valley, the next peak right here, we want to get to here, so we have to slip stitch across here to get to here, and then we can make our next little diamond in this little section right here. So what we have to do is go through this vertical loop here and this back loop right here. We're going to go in through both of those, just like I showed you in round 1, yarn over and pull through all of that, and pull through the loop on your hook for a slip stitch. But don't pull tight because we'll be working in that in the next row. So then go through the next vertical loop just like that, and the back loop back here, yarn over and pull through, and pull through. So that's 2. We need 6 in total. So go through this next vertical loop and this back loop here, yarn over, pull through, and through. That's our 3rd slip stitch. You can see 1, 2, 3. Here's our 4th one right here, going through this vertical loop and this back loop here, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. And number 5 is this vertical loop here and this back loop here, yarn over, pull through, and through. And then our 6th one will be right into this next slip stitch of this diamond. So go into here, yarn over and pull through, and pull through. And we already have 1 loop on our hook. You can see here is the diamond shape. Looks fabulous. So now we already have a loop on our hook. Starting with the next section here, we're going to do exactly what we did. So just going through each of these slip stitches, and then onto the first row of the next diamond, little Entrelac diamond. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's 6. Okay, so our 7th one is row, you can see here, row 1 of the next diamond right there. So go in, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 until the end of this row. And then just continue working that, you know, just repeating what we did for our first square, or our first diamond. I guess there's diamonds because they're worked like this. So we're just going to repeat what we did for this one for every one subsequently after that. So I have to do 4 of these left. Off camera, I'm already on my 2nd one here, and I'm going to have 5 in total. So depending if you chain 5 or 55 in the beginning, just like me, then you will have 5 diamonds in total. If you chained 66, you'll have 6 diamonds in total. So it's really easy to follow along here. We're just going to continue with this pattern. You can see here. I'm just going to repeat what I did for the first diamond. I'm going to do this all the way around this row, and then I will meet you up for the 3rd row of the Entrelac design. Alright, just finishing round 2 of the Entrelac or Entrelac stitch here. We are slip stitching across this last diamond And we want to have 6 slip stitches in total. So for our 6th one, so you can see here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 slip stitches across. Our last one is going to go into our first stitch right here, this first loop. We're going to go into that from our first diamond here, go in, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through. But don't pull too tight because we'll be using that in the next round. But just like we started round 2, we're going to end round 2 the same way, or ending round 1, we fastened off. So starting round 2, we had to start with a new yarn starting in the peak of a diamond. So you can see there I chained 1, I cut my yarn, and I'm pulling that through and pulling it tight. So now round 3 and subsequently the rest of the rounds, I'm doing 9 rounds in total. So I did 1 and 2 here. And round 3, I'm changing color. We're going to start at the peak of a diamond, and you can see on the right side there's 5 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we want to start in the slip stitch at the top of the peak, right there. And then we're going to hook on our other color. Okay, I'm just using the white and black, or the Aran, like off-white color and black throughout this whole pattern. You can use as many colors as you want, but I'm just going to repeat exactly what we did for round 2. Okay, so if you need to, you can rewind this to see exactly what I did for round 2, and then make the rest of your rounds however many rounds you want to make. You can do 10, 11, 12, make these super long if you want. It does not matter. I am doing 9 rounds in total, and I'm on round 3 already. So I'm going to do rounds 3 through 9. Off camera, it's just exactly like round 2, making these diamonds that we did in round 2. We're just doing that, doing 6, making sure there are actually 7 loops on the hook, doing 6 stitches. So this is 1 stitch, 2 stitch, 3 stitch, here's 4 stitch, 5 stitch, and 6 stitch, which has 7 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through 2 until there's no more 2 loops to pull through, just 1 loop on the hook, just like that. And we're doing 5 rows of that, and then we're going to slip stitch across and get to the next little valley here and make our next diamond in this area here. So we're doing that I'm going to do 9 rounds like I said. So I'm just going to do that off camera, and then I will meet you up when I have a long tube that is 9 Entrelac rows around. So I'll meet you up at that point, and we'll make the top and bottom cuff. Alright, I'm just finishing the 9th section of my Entrelac stitch here, just slip stitching across. Now I am doing 9 here. Let me slip stitch right in here. But you can make yours as big as you want, and once you are finished with however many sections of Entrelac stitch you want, you can fasten this part off, and then, oopsie, we can go on to making the next part. I slip stitched wrong, sorry guys. Alright, so you want to slip stitch in here. There we go. And then chain 1, and I already cut my yarn, so then pull that through and then pull that tight, and that fastens that off. So now your piece should look like a Chinese finger trap. And well, if you know what I'm talking about, you could like this video, thumbs up it, and if you've ever gotten stuck in one of those, you know what I'm talking about. So this is what it should look like. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9 sections here. So now we can go on to making the top cuff. Now you can decide which side you want, the top or the bottom. It really doesn't matter since we didn't increase or decrease any of this. But for the top cuff we are going to increase, and for the bottom cuff we are going to decrease, so it is tighter around the ankle and looser up at the top of the leg, more on the calf muscle, because that is obviously wider than your ankle. So we are going to kind of increase for the top cuff and then decrease for the bottom cuff. So what we're going to do, I'm going to make my top and bottom black. So let me grab my black yarn. And just like how we were doing the Entrelac stitch here, we are going to start at the peak of a diamond here in the 6th stitch here. So you can see there's 5 stitches or 5 rows here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then in that next one, or that slip stitch right here, we are going to start. Okay? And now we are going to make triangles to make the edge not more like a flat edge instead of a chevron edge. So I'll show you how to do that here. We are going to basically do similarly what we did here to make the diamond, but we are going to make a flat top. So it's going to decrease. So what we're going to do, we have a loop on our hook already because we just pulled it through this top stitch here. We are going to go into the next stitch right here and then yarn over and pull through. Okay, and in the next stitch we are going to go in and then yarn over and pull through. And then we're going to go into the next stitch, go in, and then yarn over and pull through. Okay, we have 4 loops on the hook, we need 7. So go into the next stitch and then yarn over and pull through. And this next stitch, it might be a little hidden here, it's right here. Go in, yarn over, pull through. Now we are going to go on to the first row of this next diamond right here, go in, okay, and then yarn over and pull through. So now we have our 7 loops on our hook. We're going to first yarn over and pull through 2 loops, okay, yarn over and pull through 2 more loops, yarn over and pull through 2 more loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 more loops. So now you should have 3 loops on your hook. Just yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops for a decrease, just like that. So you can see here, this loop right here and this loop right here were decreased into 1 stitch. So now we are going to, for the next row of this, we are going to skip these 2 right here, and our hook is going to go into this one right here. So we're going to go into that one on the side of it, just like this, around it, then yarn over and pull through, just like that. So we have 2 loops on our hook. For this row, we're going to have 6 loops in total. So there's 2. Going to the next vertical loop right here, we're going to go in from the side of it, yarn over and pull through. There's 3 loops. Here's 4 loops. Okay, this 5th loop right here, we're going to go into this vertical loop and this loop back here, just like that. Then yarn over and pull through. So now we have 5 loops on our hook. Our 6th loop is going to be on this diamond right here, this next row that's free, right there. Go in, yarn over, pull through, just like that. So now we have 6 loops on the hook. Now we are going to yarn over and pull through 2 of those loops, yarn over and pull through 2 more of those loops, then yarn over and pull through 2 more of those loops. So now we have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops for a decrease. So just like that previous row, we decreased this loop right here and this loop right here together into 1. So now for this next row, we're going to start right in this loop right here. So go into the side of it, yarn over and pull through. So we have 2 loops on the hook. This next row, we're going to have 5 loops in total. So go into this next one right here, this next vertical loop, around it, yarn over, pull through. We have 3 loops. Now the 4th loop, we're going to have this vertical loop, we're going to go in, and this loop back here, we're going to go into that. And then yarn over and pull through. So we have 4 loops. Our 5th loop is going to come through this stitch right here that's on our next diamond. So we're going to go into there, then yarn over and pull through. So now we have 5 loops on the hook. So now we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops, then yarn over and pull through 2 more loops. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. Okay, just like the last row, we decreased this loop right here and this loop right here together into 1. So now we're going to go into this next one right here for our next row of this triangle. So you can go into the side of it just like that, yarn over and pull through. Then we need 4 loops on our hook for this row. So there's 2 here, so we're going to go into this next one right here, this vertical loop and this back loop right there, yarn over and pull through. And then we're going to go into the next free stitch right here on this next diamond. Yarn over and pull through. So there are 4 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through 2 of them, and then yarn over and pull through the last 3 loops on your hook. Okay, we're almost done here. You can see we decreased this loop right here and this loop right here. So now this next row of this triangle, we're going to go through this loop and this loop here together. So we're going to go into the side of that, yarn over and pull through. Okay, we need 3 loops on our hook, so we have 1 stitch left that's free on this diamond. We're going to go on this loop right there, yarn over and pull through. So now there's 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. But we're not done yet. We have to slip stitch into this next stitch that's on this diamond to go on to making our next triangle. So go into this stitch right up here, this next slip stitch for our next triangle here, yarn over and pull through and pull through, but don't pull too tight. We'll be working in that stitch for the next round. Okay, and there is our first triangular shape to make this edge straight. That looks fabulous. So now we can repeat what we just did in each little crevice, each little like chevron look all the way around. So now we're in this little spot here. Normally, if you were going to go on to another round of these, you would make another square in this part. But we're going to turn this into a triangle, making this edge completely straight. So how to do that? Again, I'll show you. We already have a loop on our hook. We need 7 loops on our hook. So go into the next stitch right here, yarn over, pull through. 2 loops on the hook, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, the next stitch right here, yarn over and pull through, and now we're going to go on to this next stitch right here on our next diamond, which is the first row of our next diamond. We're going to go on there, yarn over and pull that through. So now we have our 7 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through 2 of those loops, yarn over and pull through 2 of those loops, yarn over and pull through 2 more loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 more loops. So now we have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. And there we decreased. So now we are going to skip over this loop right here and this loop right here because we decreased that into 1. So now we're going to start our next row of this triangle into this loop here. So go into the side of this loop, yarn over, pull through, go into the next vertical loop right here, yarn over, pull through. This next row will have 5 loops. So we have 3 so far going into the side of this one right here, yarn over, pull through. And this last one right here, we're going to go into the side of it and into that loop that's back there. Just like that. And then yarn over and pull through those. And we have, let's see, oh, we need 6 loops, I'm sorry. We have to go on to this stitch right here, onto our diamond. Always end with a stitch of the diamond, of the next diamond, on your hook. So yarn over and pull through that, just like that. So now we have 6 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 more loops, yarn over and pull through 2 more loops. So now we have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. So we've just decreased these 2 together here. Okay, so now we're going to start this next one with this one. So we're going to go into the side of this one, yarn over, pull through. So we have 2 loops on our hook, we need 5. So go into this one right here, yarn over, pull through, there's 3. Our 4th one right here, we're going to go through this vertical loop and the loop back here, yarn over and pull through those. So we have 4. And our last one is on this next diamond, the next stitch right here. Yarn over and pull through. Then yarn over and pull through 2 loops and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So now we have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. Okay, this next row, so we attached these 2 together, making them into 1 stitch. So now we're going to skip those 2 and go into this next one right here for our next row of this triangle. So go into the side of this one, yarn over and pull through. Into this next one, we're going to go into this and into that loop back there, just like that. Yarn over and pull through both of those. So we have 3 loops on our hook, we need 4. We're going to go into this row right here on this diamond, yarn over and pull through. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And then we have 3 loops on the hook, we're going to yarn over and pull through those 3 loops. Now we are going to go on to our next row of our triangle. We're going to go over here to this loop right here, this vertical loop and this back loop, just like that. Yarn over and pull through. We need 3 loops on our hook, so we only have 2. We have 1 stitch left on this row, so we're going to go into that diamond, yarn over and pull through. So we only have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. And then we need to slip stitch into the slip stitch on this diamond at the peak of this next diamond right here. So go in, yarn over, pull through, and pull through, but don't pull too tight. We'll be using that stitch for the next round. And there you have your second triangular shape to make the edging. So we have 2 done so far. So now if you need to rewind this to do exactly what we did for this triangle here for each section around until you get back to the beginning of this round. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll meet you up for the second round of the top of the cuff. Alright, so I made my last triangle, but I have to still slip stitch to the beginning to make my last stitch complete. So I am going to actually, instead of going into this stitch here, I'm going to slip stitch to the first stitch right at the top here. You can see that. I'm going to yarn over and pull through, but not too tight because that is going to count as my last stitch. And if you need to, count around now. You can see we finished this round and our triangles look fabulous. So you want to count around to make sure you have 30 stitches in total. That is how many should be on this round here. So make sure you count 30 stitches. If you chained the same as me in the beginning of this video, if you chained 55, in the beginning you should have 30 stitches on this round. If you have, let's see here, if you have 5 of these triangles, okay, you can see there's triangle 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There should be 30 stitches because there's 6 stitches in each triangle, so 6 times 5 is 30. So if you have 6 triangles, you will have, how many? 6 times 6, 36 stitches. And if you have 7 triangles, you will have 42 stitches, so on and so on. So it's math. There's your math for the day. Now we can go on to round 2 of our top cuff here. So the top cuff, we are going to chain 1, and now we're working into each of these stitches on the top here. We are going to increase this to fit around our calf muscle, so we are going to put 2 single crochets in this very first stitch, the one we slip stitched into. We are going to put 2 single crochets in there. So go in, and then yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. That's a single crochet. So again, go back into that same stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So now there's 2 single crochets in that same stitch. Now we're going to put 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So go into this next stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay? And the next stitch, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Now we're going to repeat what we did. So in the next stitch right here, we're going to put 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2. And then in the next 2 stitches, we're just going to put 1 single crochet. So 1 and 1. And we're just going to repeat that around. So at the end of this round, we'll have a total of 40 single crochets. So 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. And I'm trying to get to 40 stitches in total. So that's an increase of 10 stitches on this round. So I'm going to do that all the way around, and then I'll meet you up for round 3. Alright, so I have my 40 single crochets around, and now we want to slip stitch to the first single crochet of this round. So right here, just go in, and then yarn over and pull through and through. Okay? Now it's kind of increased a little bit. So now we are going to go on to round 3 of our top cuff here. We're going to chain up 2, 1 and 2, and that does not count as anything, so pretend it's not even there. It's just getting us to the height we need. And we are going to double crochet into that same stitch that we just chained up 2 in. So yarn over, go into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into, then yarn over and pull through, And now yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through those other 2 loops on your hook. Okay, that is a double crochet. So we're going to put 1 double crochet into each stitch around. So yarn over, go into the very next stitch, yarn over and pull through, then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, so it's a double crochet. So I'm just going to work 1 double crochet into each stitch around for a total of 40 double crochets. Then once I get back around, I'll meet you up. We'll go on to round 4 of the top of the cuff. To finish this round, we have to slip stitch to the first double crochet right here. So go into this first stitch. Okay, so not this chain up 2 right here. That doesn't count as anything, like I said. So go into the first stitch, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. So now we have 40 double crochets on this round. So now we can go on to round 3 of the top of the cuff. Sorry, not round 3, round 4. We just did round 3 doing a double crochet around. So round 4 says to chain up 2, 1 and 2. And we are going to put a front post double crochet around this first double crochet right here. So we're not going to work around the chain up 2 right here. That doesn't count as anything, and neither does this chain up 2 right here. We're going to put a front post double crochet around this double crochet here. So we yarn over, go on this side of the post, around it, just like that, then yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Now in this next stitch right here, we are going to put a regular double crochet. So yarn over, go into this stitch right here, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So now we're going to alternate those 2 stitches all the way around. So yarn over, we're going to do a front post double crochet around this next stitch right here, so go on the side of it around the post, then yarn over and pull through, then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Now a regular double crochet goes into the next stitch, so yarn over, go into the actual stitch right at the top there, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, and we're just going to alternate the front post double crochet and the regular double crochet. So at the end of this round you'll still have the 40 stitches, just every other stitch is going to have a front post double crochet on it, and every other stitch is going to have a regular double crochet in it. So just keep doing that all the way around, and then I can meet you up for round 5 of the top cuff. Alright, just putting a regular double crochet in the last stitch here. Now we want to slip stitch to the first front post double crochet right here, not the chain up 2, but actually into the double crochet, the front post double crochet stitch right there, yarn over, pull through, and through. Now, rounds 5, 6, and 7 are exactly like round 4. So we're going to chain up 2, and on the front post double crochet stitches, we are going to put a front post double crochet on those. And on the regular double crochet stitches, we are going to put a regular double crochet on those. So just alternate these 2 stitches for rounds 5, 6, and 7, or however long you want to make this cuff. You can keep on going, round 8, 9, 10, I don't care how many rounds you do. We're going to just do as many rounds to make this top cuff thick enough and pretty and everything. So I'm just going to do the 7th round. Like, I'm going to do rounds 5, 6, and 7 off camera. I'm on round 5 right now, so the rest of round 5, round 6, and round 7 will be done by the time we get back, and then we'll fasten this part off and do the bottom cuff. Alright, just finishing this last round here of my top cuff, and we can slip stitch to the beginning front post stitch right here, just go into the stitch itself, yarn over, pull through, and through. And now we can fasten this part off, so chain 1 and cut your yarn, pull that through and pull it tight. And you know what, grab your yarn needle right away. We'll just sew in this end because I don't like when there's loose ends. And if you have been, you know, obviously you want to sew in your ends as you go, or probably right now is a good time to do that. So I just yarn my needle with that straggler, and you can see now I'm going underneath some of these stitches. Just like that, and I'm going to go back around and go the opposite way. And that is secure in there. And then if you have any extra, you can trim it just like that. Okay, so that's sewn in. Lovely. So there's the top cuff. Looks good. Now we have to do the bottom cuff. So turn this upside down like this. And we are going to insert our hook, just like I showed you earlier. On the other side, we're going to make those triangles to close this section in and make it flat. So you can see on this diamond here, this is our bottom here. We have row 1, or I'm sorry, this is row 1 right here. Row 1, row 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to go right into this one right here, the slip stitch, right next to that next row there. Going in there, hooking on our color. I'm using the same black for the cuff as I did for the top cuff. So this is the bottom cuff now. And if you want to, you can rewind this part to see how we made these triangles up here. So we're doing the exact same thing for this round. So we're making these little triangles to have 30 stitches in total around. So if you need to, you know what, just rewind this to see that, because it is exactly the same. Okay, I'm just gonna hook up 7 things here, decrease those stitches to make it a triangle now. And then once this part is finished, once I finish round 1 of the cuff, the bottom cuff here, because we're working on the bottom cuff now. Once I finish round 1 of that, so now we have this 7 here, okay? I don't want to get too distracted. This is the same as round 1 of the top cuff. So just continue working that all the way around, and then once we get to round 2 of the bottom cuff, I'll meet you up and we'll go on to the next step together. Alright, just finishing my last triangle here. I have to slip stitch now into the first stitch here. Going in, yarn over, pull through, and just like the other side, I'm not going to pull too tight because that does count as a stitch. So if you need to count around, you should have 30 stitches. Just like the other side when we made those triangles to make this edge flat. So now we are going to go on to round 2 of the bottom of the cuff, and we're not going to increase. So last round, the other side, the opposite side, the top end of our cuff, we increased this round, but for this round we're just going to single crochet around. So chain up 1 and just put 1 single crochet into each stitch around for, again, a total of 30 single crochets. Okay, so we're like the other end, we increased to 40. We did an increase round at this round. We are just going to single crochet around. We're not doing any increase on this round because it's going to go near the ankle of our leg, and it's there's no need for it to be increased at all, because it's going to hug our ankle. So we're just going to single crochet across just like this, or around, I guess it's more in the round. And then I can meet you up for round 3 of the bottom cuff. Alright, we came back around and just single crocheted around, so now I'm going to slip stitch to the first single crochet of this round. So go in, then yarn over and pull through and through. And now we can go on to round 3. Actually, round 3, 4, 5, and 6 are exactly how we did the top cuff, doing a chain up 2. Okay, in this round we are just going to put 1 double crochet into each stitch around. So that's a total of 30 double crochets around. And then when I get to the end of this round, I'll just meet you up and I'll show you what round 4 is like. So I'll meet you up at the end of this round, just double crochet around for round 3 here, and then we'll go on to round 4 together. Alright, finishing round 3 here of the bottom cuff, we're going to slip stitch to the first double crochet here, okay? So not the chain up 2, remember that doesn't count as anything, so go into the double crochet here, that counts as a stitch right there, yarn over, pull through, and through to slip stitch. And then going on to rounds 4, 5, and 6, it's exactly how we did the top cuff, so chain up 2, and then front post double crochet on the first stitch, and then double crochet in the next stitch, then front post double crochet on the next stitch, and then regular double crochet in the next stitch. So it's exactly how we did the rounds on the top part of the cuff, except we're ending early, so I'm only going to do rounds 4, 5, and 6, and not go on to a round 7 like I did on the top cuff. So, but at this point you can make this as long as you want, but I'm going to end on round 6, and I'm just doing the front post, back post stitches exactly how I did the top cuff, so I'm going to do that, and there will only be 30 stitches for rounds 4, 5, and 6 here. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll meet you up when we're about to fasten off. Alright, I just finished round 6 here, just got a slip stitch to the first double crochet, so yarn over, pull through, and through. And like I said, you can make this cuff as wide as you want, just continue working that front post and front post double crochet and regular double crochet alternating to make that ribbing effect look really nice. But I am going to fasten off at this point, so chain 1, cut that yarn, pull it through, pull it tight, and grab that yarn needle and then sew in that end. And then you have one nice wet leg warmer all finished. So all you have to do is just rewind this video or check out that written pattern to my written pattern here. There's a link in the description of this video. You can follow along with the written pattern and make another one. Just go to YARNutopia.com and you can even search Harlequin Legwarmers and it'll show up for you. So there it is. Lovely. Awesome. I've already made one off camera. So there are my lovely Legwarmers. There they are. Thank you so much for watching and learning how to make these leg warmers today. Just, you know, thumbs up this video if you learned something. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of this video. And share your photos on Facebook and on Instagram. Hashtag YARNutopia so I can see your work. I would absolutely love to see those today. And I'd like to see what colors you came up with. If you chose the white and black color or multiple colors, let me see what you got. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. Happy hooking!